One of the questions, Myles, that I had in the aftermath of the Falcons stunning everyone, particularly Kirk Cousins, by making Michael Penix Jr. the 8th overall pick in the draft last Thursday night, is there something lurking in the Cousins contract that would give the Falcons an out if there's an issue with his Achilles? It reminded me very much of the question last year with the Jimmy Garoppolo contract. Remember, we found out right around Memorial Day that they had to rework the deal and that they had an out completely if the foot surgery that he didn't have after he injured it in December of 2022, but did have after he failed the physical with the Raiders, didn't heal the problem. So I wanted to know, because maybe that's the explanation. Everybody's trying to, not everybody, some people are trying to come up with an explanation that makes this all make sense. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense. So here's what I've learned. The Falcons can't get out of the money that they owe Kirk Cousins. $50 million signing bonus, $25 million has been paid. The other $25 million is paid later this year. From the contract, players' entitlement to receive and retain the signing bonus is expressly conditioned on players passing the club's physical examination, excluding his pre-existing right Achilles injury, provided player continues to rehab such injury as required by and under the supervision and direction of club's head athletic trainer and club's team physician. What that means is, as long as he does everything they tell him to do by way of rehabbing the Achilles tendon, they can't invalidate the contract. Now, if they really want to try to be aggressive, they can say, oh, you failed to show up, you failed to do this, you failed to do that, you failed to do this, if they really want to be jerks about it. But that'd be a big fight. It would go to arbitration. It'd be a grievance. It'd be a problem. I don't know if they want to go down that path. Here's the bigger reality. Salary this year, $12.5 million. Salary next year, $27.5 million. He could be traded after 1 year. Think about it. If you're a team that's interested in a quarterback and you can get Kirk Cousins at $27.5 million for next year under the contract he's already signed, and he will have received $62.5 million this year from the Falcons, then you do it. And it's a $37.5 million cap charge next year. If Penix plays, or if they decide Penix is the guy, if they decide this thing just isn't working, he could be traded as soon as next year. He could ask to be traded as soon as next year, and it would not be ridiculous for the Falcons to comply if they think Penix is ready to take over. So we're talking 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It could be as short as 1 year, Myles.
Well, certainly if Penix looks like he's ready to take over and Kirk Cousins doesn't feel like, he is being suited to or courted enough or whatever the proper word is that is not coming to mind, then yeah, I think it would make sense, especially when you look at the fact that the Broncos are taking as big of a cap hit as they are to not have Russell Wilson play for them. If you've got a quarterback that's on a rookie deal and then you deal away Kirk Cousins and that's all the cap charge would be, it's not unrealistic.
They took big cap charges when they moved on from Julio Jones. They took a big cap charge when they moved on from Matt Ryan. They could do it if that's the right answer. And look, it all comes down to whether Kirk Cousins can come back from it. Now, we saw the video of him out there throwing passes in phase 2 of the offseason program. That's fine. Let's see what he says, how he says it, and what he says when he's made available to the media as part of phase 3. It is mandatory. Maybe they'll try to avoid it and delay it and just break the rules. And that happens. Those rules get broken all the time. I want to see what he says and how he says it, because if there's no coming back from this, if you led me to believe one thing, and the last thing I ever would have imagined is you're going to take a quarterback with the 8th overall pick, and then you do it, I can't come back from that. If that's the case, it could be a 1 year arrangement. It would not be all that difficult for the Falcons to move on, but they would have a very hard time yanking the rug out from under him and reclaiming his signing bonus and invalidating the contract. That's not going to happen. That's where it breaks from Jimmy Garoppolo last year. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.